It is day 7, 4:25 a.m. in the Big Brother UK All-Stars house. Davina is being called to the diary room to take part in the painting test that we have going on this week. So all the house guests individually are called to the diary room at random times to paint one large painting. And whoever paints the painting that is worth the most simoleons will become big boss for the week. And depending on where you score and rank with the prices of your paintings will determine what ministry you are placed in, and then also obviously how many big bucks you get. On Friday night, our new house guest, Victor, entered the house. Because he is a new house guest, he was ineligible to be nominated for eviction and is safe this week. It seems that he is up early in the morning preparing a garden salad for him and his fellow house guests to wake up to and enjoy.
Sufa Fweb. Vambo Kaustaish.
In the bathroom, our Big Brother 8 house guest, Charley and Brian Bello, get their morning started in the bathroom, getting ready for the day. At 8:31 a.m., Davina is finally finished with her painting in the diary room, and its total is $100, still not able to beat Pete's total of $107 that he did yesterday. While Courtney is waking up and making her way into the kitchen, Craig is on his way to the diary room to take part in the task.
Cobbler Joan. Fimba! Lemana.
Charley, Victor, and Pete are in the garden, swimming around in the pool already. The house guest's favorite activity so far is swimming in the pool, maybe a bit too much. Meanwhile, in the bathroom, Brian Bello is still sorting out laundry and getting his day prepared, while Davina and Gary spend some time talking outside the showers.
I'm bleeding a little bit, and that's good. You know, it's good to drink your own blood. Drinking your own blood is the paradigm of recycling.
At 9:55 a.m., Big Brother goes ahead and turns on the lights and wakes up the house guest for the rest of the day. Some of them are still kind of upset and still like a bit like crying and tossing and turning in their beds, not wanting to get up on this rainy, dreary day outside. While most of the house guests that are awake are either already in the pool or all in the bathroom trying to use the bathroom and take a shower and get their day started. A lot of the guys are in the bathroom all talking to Davina, while Hellen sits in her bathrobe and moans about being hungry instead of going and cooking something. And actually, Hellen is so weird looking in here. I kind of made her like on accident. Like she's one of those Sims where she looks fine head on, and then when you turn her sideways, she looks completely different. Yeah, that was an oopsie on my part. Gary Busey is still harassing everyone in the bathroom, while Victor is kind of making his rounds person to person, really introducing himself. Maybe he feels a little bit more comfortable now, more settled into the house, but he's definitely making an effort to talk to everyone in here today. In the diary room, Craig is finally done with his large painting, and the total of his is 97, so still not enough to beat Pete. But next up, we're going to see if his fellow Big Brother 7 competitor, Nikki, can beat Pete's score, as Big Brother goes ahead and calls her into the diary room. While Craig instantly leaves the diary room, puts on a bathing suit, and jumps in the pool. They're all obsessed. Brian Dowling seems to be doing some laundry in the house this morning. He takes the load into the storage room to put it in the washer and dryer, and I had to watch it pretty closely. If you saw, Cameron caught himself on fire and the washer and dryer. The marks are still on the ground from before, and I was afraid it would happen again. I think it was from not changing the dryer or the lint or something. I'm not too sure, but now I have to watch it pretty closely. And while he's doing the laundry, he also goes ahead and starts cleaning up the storage room, while New York is in the kitchen making herself some grilled cheese. And she seems to be in a real interesting, feisty mood.
Arvini, boo sharp kumiao. You threw ya rollshba, quexenos. Tiffany.
A lot of the girls have gathered into the bathroom to try to get ready. However, they are, a bit delayed in that process as a lot of the sinks and toilets are breaking down. However, most of it is actually repaired. As you can see, the stalls are actually clean for once, so they are doing some improvements. We see that Emma is fixing the sink, the only sink that's broken, and Nadia is already mopping up the mess, so they're actually doing pretty good on that. At 2:03 p.m., Cameron is still in bed asleep. However, almost half the house is in the pool, while the other half of the house is in the bathroom. The pool is obviously going pretty well since last week. I think everyone's kind of learned their lesson there, hopefully, and we can see Davina rocking her six-pack. She looks amazing. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, New York has finished with preparing everyone a lunch of eggs and toast, and we can see Nadia and Gemma sitting down and enjoying that and that salad that Victor made earlier. It's been a pretty slow start to the day. I don't know if it's because everyone's kind of tired from all individually having to go to the diary room all night long, or if it's the dreary weather outside, but this is mostly everyone's first meal of the day. That's why it kind of feels like breakfast. However, it's already 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I like that pretty much all of our house guests are either in a bathing suit or still in their pajamas. There's about 1, 2, 3 house guests that are actually in their normal everyday clothes.
No.
Yes, yes, Tombra.
Noi. Where's a zumbo?
In the diary room, Nikki has finished up with her painting, and it was a total of a 96, still not beating out Pete. We can see that Craig is in the kitchen, swimming in the ground. I think he went in there to get some food, and he just swam all the way from the pool. I'm not too sure why that keeps happening to the house guests. Maybe it's the number of house guests we have. I don't know. Nikki straight away leaves the diary room to get a drink. Meanwhile, Makosi takes her place in the diary room to start her portion of the task.
Shubby. Scoofa.
It seems that the early morning pool party has kind of worn everyone out. The house is now split up between the people that are eating in the kitchen and then the people that have made their own meal and are eating outside. So we see that Bear, Cameron, Gary, Isabelle, and Craig are all outside. Meanwhile, we see Tiffany joining and grabbing a plate as well, while Brian Bello creepily watches Pete, who's napping outside. Yeah, everyone's just in a very sleepy, groggy, slow-moving mood still. We see that the kitchen is still hustling and bustling. A majority of the house guests chose to eat inside due to the weather. And I honestly think that even though the kitchen is so crammed and cluttered, it probably is the coziest place in the house. The living room looks cold. The bedroom isn't really cozy. The bathroom and the garden aren't. So I honestly think I would spend a lot of my time in the kitchen. The house guests really spend their time here pretty much in the beginning of the day or at night whenever they make a big meal. But besides that, no one really hangs out in here apart from 1 or 2 house guests like Cameron and Nikki who actually bartend. Outside, everyone is hanging out. They are able to actually start drying their clothes that are on the line now that it has stopped raining for once. While Davina is going around picking up dirty dishes, we see that a lot of the house guests have jumped back in the pool. Some of them, like Isabelle, have missed the pool a little bit and are stuck on the stairs. But, you know, she's trying. That pool is only so big for so many house guests. And Gary has actually been super talkative today. Usually he's kind of out on his own, talking to himself and farting. But we saw him bonding with Davina, and now we see him bonding a little bit with Nadia. While Bear and Emma take some time bonding in the kitchen. Emma and Ryland, funnily like the host of the show, both of them love singing, and they are often caught singing by themselves in a room. In the bathroom, all the toilets have gotten dirty or broken once again. So this time it looks like Pete and Ryland take turns fixing and cleaning the toilets, while Bear awkwardly uses the one in between. They're both like on their knees, like on either side. I feel like it's just too close. Smell range. I don't know. It's a pretty gross deed, especially to do practically naked in your bathing suit. That's also a choice. All of them have decided to do it. And of course, the trash that gets left over just stays there. No one's picking that up. And we still have one broken sink. They were all fixed for a little bit of time. It's a constant struggle for these house guests. Nothing is ever easy living in this Big Brother house. And it doesn't seem that it's phasing any of the house guests too much, as they all still seem to be in a pretty good mood.
Oh, Jonga.
At 4:50 p.m., Makosi has finished with her painting in the diary room, and its total is 87 simoleons, so still not enough to beat Pete. But we are going to see if Hellen, our former big boss, has what it takes to be big boss for the second week in a row, as she is called to the diary room to have a go at her painting. And it looks as though Emma is having a little bit of a sing-song outside, like I mentioned earlier.
Ooh, menu.
Going into this task, I definitely underestimated how long it would take for everyone to finish their paintings. So I'm actually going to go ahead and call Nadia into the diary room, and she's going to paint at the same time. That way 2 house guests can go, and we can kind of finish this a little bit sooner, because it's definitely taking a lot longer than I thought it would. With all the toilets being filthy and the bathroom being dirtier than ever, unfortunately for Cameron, it becomes a bit too much for him as he accidentally pees himself in the bedroom in front of this big group of people as well. So he's definitely going to be embarrassed for a little while. Someone's going to have to clean that up. Hopefully he does. But a whole puddle is just right there in the bedroom. And Cameron goes ahead and heads to the showers and washes himself off immediately, thankfully.
Dukna, skibabora.
And not that you could tell at all, but Bear has actually spent almost his whole day in the bathroom, cleaning the toilets, fixing the toilets. He hasn't got around to the sinks, I guess, but that is why there is all that trash on the ground. Again, you wouldn't be able to tell he's been actually doing stuff in here, but he has. And Makosi has come in finally to finish up the work a little bit now that she's done with her painting. In the diary room, Hellen has gone ahead and finished with her painting, and the total of that is 94 simoleons, so still not enough. So Hellen is going to go ahead and leave while Nadia is still in there finishing up hers. And we're going to go ahead and call Victor to the diary room to start painting his.
Kleine Bush.
And as soon as Victor begins painting his, Nadia goes ahead and finishes hers. And hers is a total of 95 simoleons, so still not enough. At 7:21 p.m., a lot of the house guests are outside in the garden, enjoying the little bit of sunlight they have left in the day while eating some food or swimming around in the pool. Victor is still working on his painting while we go ahead and call Gemma Collins to the diary room to start on hers. In the bathroom, Bear has finished repairing everything in there and has decided to finally take a break while Makosi and Nadia go around and clean up the rest. And Courtney just stands there, watches, and does nothing. But Bear goes outside and enjoys the little bit of day he has left while eating some food on the picnic table with Tiffany New York Pollard. And speaking of New York, she is on the block this week next to Brian Dowling and Courtney Act. So remember, your vote really matters. Comment down below who you want to save from eviction, and whoever gets the least amount of votes will be going home on Friday. So go ahead and comment down below. It is pretty urgent. And back on this, we see Gary Busey has started grilling some steaks or chicken out on the outdoor grill. Wow, it looks as though Cameron and Nikki are finding themselves sharing a bit of alone time by the bar. That is, until Brian Bello joins. I think it's extremely hard for any of these house guests to actually share a one-on-one moment. And if they do, it's for such a brief amount of time. With 20 house guests in the house, it's pretty challenging. And I think, honestly, with 2 people being in the diary room right now doing a painting, I think that's almost an advantage in itself. We see that the pool party is still hopping outside. Meanwhile, some of our house guests have already climbed in bed and started resting, like Brian Dowling, for example. And I gotta say, I wish I didn't give him the same swimsuit as Bear. That can be confusing. And we see that Charley isn't even napping. She just went straight to sleep. In the diary room, Victor has just finished his painting, and the total is 94 simoleons. So, still not enough to beat Pete. Meanwhile, Gemma continues painting hers. In the living room, Courtney Act just stands alone in the middle, not talking to anyone. I feel like, honestly, they tend to do this a lot, and that's pretty much the reason why they're nominated. They're always secluding themselves, and now would not be the time to do that. But we are going to go ahead and call Emma Willis into the diary room to start on her painting. And as soon as we call her in there, Gemma goes ahead and wraps up hers. And Gemma's total is 105. So super close. I actually thought it was going to beat Pete's because it was like this unique painting. And I really liked hers the best, honestly. But still could not beat Pete's score of 107. And to replace Gemma in there, we are going to go ahead and call Ryland. Our 2 hosts are going to go ahead and paint at the same time in the diary room.
Watanabe! Pipital Dimpish! Narfa.
At 10:02 p.m., Courtney Act is finally seen socializing outside at the picnic table with Craig as they eat some food. Meanwhile, Gemma Collins is behind them sorting out some laundry. However, they left the clean laundry outside on the table, so I feel like it's going to get wet, and there's some issues to that. However, Courtney is not seen long with Craig before she goes ahead and leaves and gets in the pool. Meanwhile, Brian goes ahead and collects those clothes, because I guess they're dirty by now, and finishes up the laundry that Gemma was doing earlier. What a waste of time to finish laundry, sit it outside, and then have it be dirty again. How annoying. Over at the pool, it seems that the people that are in the pool are relaxing while New York and Nadia get to know each other a little bit outside. But again, no one-on-one conversation in this house lasts very long, as soon Nadia gets up and leaves, and New York is left talking to herself. In the bedroom, a lot of the house guests have decided to go ahead and go to bed, so Big Brother decides to turn off the lights for the night, while Brian continues to walk around in the dark collecting laundry to do. In the diary room, Emma Willis has finished with her painting, and it is a total of 101 simoleons, so still not enough, unfortunately. So Emma's going to go ahead and leave once we finally stop them from talking. And we are actually going to go ahead and replace Emma with Cameron as he's going to take his go at painting. We're almost complete with the house guests, but unfortunately they're not all going to finish tonight in this episode.
Oh, Jarbin Dekov. Kresny. Ah. Shrufa. Bilindi. Oh.
In the garden, Makosi and Hellen have a conversation over the now spoiled food. I feel like this picnic table just invents spoiled things. Like anything you put on it will become spoiled. New York was having a little bit of conversation between Gary, but now she is left alone once again. While people still continue to slowly start climbing into bed. As we can see here, Emma Willis is off to bed now. A lot of the house guests are outside in the garden still. Thankfully, it has finally fully stopped raining, and we have a clear sky. We see that Brian Bello is still working hard at laundry. All that laundry he collected, he is now washing by hand. I'm pretty sure that the washer probably has clothes in it already. And we see that Nadia is going up behind him and mopping up the grass. I do love that they do that. It's so silly. Meanwhile, Makosi is still at that stinky table. However, she is now joined with Isabelle and Nikki before going ahead and leaving.
Maybe Gobi. Zerf.
At 1:33 a.m., Ryland has finished up with his painting, and it has a total of 97 simoleons. Still not enough, but he's actually pretty exhausted. He's going to leave here and head straight to bed, while Cameron is still up painting his.
Priv.
In the garden, Tiffany has not left her spot by the pool. However, she is now joined by Makosi, who happens to be the only other house guest that's awake. In the diary room, Cameron finally finishes up his painting, and it has a total of 93 simoleons. And after that, he's going to go ahead and head to bed. New York soon leaves her spot to go ahead and sit at the table and eat the food that isn't spoiled, while Makosi gets out of the pool and heads to bed, leaving New York the sole house guest awake for the night. And her, Brian Dowling, and also Courtney Act again face the vote this week. Who do you want to save from eviction and not see going home on Friday? Again, the person with the least amount of votes from you guys will be going home. Vote by leaving comments down below. You can leave as many comments as you want. Each comment will count as a vote. You can also go ahead and at me on Twitter. I do have a poll posted up on there. And any other social media that I have listed below, go ahead and let me know what you guys want. And one person will be leaving on Friday. However, we have another episode tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Bye.